Hello Harmony Central, Editor-in-Chief Craig Anderton here after another exhausting but exhilarating day at Frankfurt Musik Messe. I spent a lot of time checking out guitars. Don't worry, we'll get to the ukulele revival in a minute. First though, a heads up for surf music fans. Mosrite Guitars from Mosrite Original in California are back. These distinctive looking guitars were as much a part of the early 60s as surfboards and Fender Twins. Aria also got into the Mosrite revival with the DM380, which has the same kind of look coupled with a finish so shiny you gotta wear shades. And speaking of Aria, Europeans love soccer, and for them the FIFA World Cup is like the Super Bowl, World Series, and Stanley Cup all rolled into one. And they also love music, so Aria combined the two with their Gold Rush guitar, which will set you back about 250 euros. At current rates, about 325 bucks. Aria also showed the cute little Nomad bass, a variation on their cute little Nomad guitar. Here's the Revolver guitar from Peerless. It's really too bad no photo can do this finish justice, and I'm a sucker for F-holes, so let's show the Peerless hardtail as well. And before saying goodbye to Peerless, let's also look at their Wizard Stagemaster with triple pickups. But you say you can't afford a new guitar given the tough economic times? Then check out the Sunsmile DIY guitar kits. There's something about the double neck telly and double neck strat shapes that make me want to get some paint and a soldering iron. Although I'm not sure I could do as good a job as these assembled ones. Or maybe you've been holding out for a guitar designed in Australia. Ashton does just that, but visiting their booth also gives further credence to the dreaded, yet perversely fascinating ukulele revival. Of course, you'll want to electrify your ukulele with a suitable pickup, and B-Band is glad to oblige with several different models, including an end pin type. Still not convinced there's a ukulele revival? Go to the Ohana booth where you can achieve ukulele nirvana. Of course, no trade show is complete without what Winter NAMM show veterans would refer to as a Hall E moment. So let's take a look at the guitar doorbell, which strums a pseudo guitar placed above a doorway. It actually works, although I'm not sure how many people sit around saying, I sure wish opening a door would strum a pseudo guitar. Here's another example of an overactive imagination at work, a 6-foot-tall metronome. Just don't stand to the side, it might knock you over. In a more useful Hall-E moment, we present Shadow's Kill Pot. It replaces a volume or tone control and includes a momentary switch for cutting audio in and out for stuttering effects. Here's a Czechoslovakian travel guitar where the headstock pops on, the neck pops out, and there's a hole in the body where the neck goes. Travel guitars seem to be right up there with the ukulele revival here at Messe, so while you're on the road, take a look at the Bone guitar from Switzerland. It's travel friendly, but it's also a very playable electric guitar. For true guitar fanatics, one of the really cool exhibits this year was a little under $2 million of vintage guitars. Feast your eyes on these suckers. I really want the Fender 12-string to replace the one I had that was stolen many, many years ago. I think the Flying V is an autographed guitar from German group The Scorpions, and check out this shot of the Beatles. I almost didn't recognize them. Not vintage enough for you? Then go to the early music shop and pick up a lute, just like we all used to do back in the 1600s. Next, let's take a trip to the East, where SMB Effects from Russia produces a variety of boxes, including 2 bassed preamps and distortion. And I just couldn't resist this shot of a herd of wild Gaia-tone effects in repose inside a glass case. Source Audio was also at the show with their latest line of multiband distortion devices, and you could also check out Reeves Gabrel's pedal board, replete with multiple Source Audio effects. I can see why. They sound really, really good. In the world of 3-letter amp companies, I was pretty intrigued by VHT's offerings. They're hand-wired amps, but not with boutique prices. The Special 6 is particularly trippy. It's a relatively low-power amp with a 12AX7 preamp and 6V6 power amp. Frankfurt was also the place to check out the latest from THC. Of course, there's more to life than guitars, or at least most people think there is, but we'll save some more tech stuff for tomorrow, including the Rhizome, which ignited a fierce level of gear lust in yours truly. But while I'm figuring out which bank to rob in order to get one, let's look at a few hot performances before signing off. Well, actually, it seemed autograph sessions were much more popular than stars playing music demos. Here's the line of people waiting at the Marshall booth to get an autograph from Whitesnake's Doug Aldrich. But there was still plenty of music. For example, you never know when you're going to see two ladies bashing away on a marimba. And how about this group of hot players doing their thing at the Shadow booth? Want something a little more rock? Here's Paul Rhoads at the Warwick Studio. Let's close out today's highlights with some phenomenal fingerstyle multi-touch guitar work from Vitaly Makukiel. See you tomorrow.